Hello everyone. Welcome to our presentation of Digital Brain brought to you by Khash-Erdene.
Любомир Георгиев.
And Dina Panov.
The outline of our presentation is competitive advantage, SWOT analysis, entry methods, and which markets to enter, as well as the timing of the entry.
From the numerous analyses we have done for digital brain, we can conclude that the core of competitive advantage for digital brain is their human resources. Namely, the HR management is one of the unique values of the company and it is their key strength. What the HR of digital brain has is creativeness, technical and social skills, experience the team possess, and motivation and devotion, which are amazing. What we also find important to mention when it comes to HR is hiring, training, and compensating the quality are essential for a branding company. That's why, in order to gain more competitive advantage, we suggest to Digital Brain first to focus even more on the human resources. Second, by getting them cheaper, and third, by networking.
Okay, now let's look at the SWOT analysis. The main strengths of the companies are that they have a young, motivated team that wants to create a wow effect. Also, Digital Brain offers a very complex brand representation. Only a few companies in the industry offer that. Also, project managers are good with dealing with the customer relationships. And finally, diverse human capital of strategists, entrepreneurs, designers, and marketers. The diversity brings different viewpoints together to create a better product. When it comes to weaknesses, the company takes too much projects, which might lead to low quality work because of the large amount. The industry relies heavily on references and good reputation. Just a few rushed projects might damage the reputation and slow down the growth of the company. Also, project management lacks some processes. Introducing those processes or improving the existing ones will result in a better value chain with a larger profit margin. It can even improve the competitive advantage of the firm. Finally, the company is still new and young on the market. They would need to work a lot to build trust and to attract new clients. On the other hand, being new in the market gives digital brand the chance to establish good relationships with clients and build reputation of a reliable company which creates amazing campaigns. Also expanding their marketing strategy other than recommendation and references. Although the industry relies heavily on networking, using marketing tools such as Google AdSense, Facebook Premium Advertising to reach a larger audience and establish a presence will help with growth. Also, mobile penetration in the Czech Republic is over 40% of the population. This means that they can target almost half the population with their campaigns. Finally, many startups in Europe that are in the desperate need of business strategies, mobile marketing, and creative campaigns. Finally, the threats. Because of the ever changing trends in different marketing areas and the ever changing rules of search engine optimization, of content, continuous awareness is required, which is very difficult to maintain. Digital brain has to adapt swiftly or lose competitive advantage. With the development of digital platforms, people become more vocal and expressive of feelings. Social media empowers people to complement the digital campaigns in any way they wish. This not only creates weaknesses, but also reduces the control over the interpretation and context of campaigns. Finally, it's a very wide competitive market. There are very low barriers to entry in this industry, so everyone with a laptop can enter and become a potential competitor.
Now let's take a look at the entry modes, which are hierarchical, intermediary, and alternative. First and foremost, for our hierarchical entry mode, we choose Greenfield strategy for Digital Brain. It is a process of expanding operation in a foreign market from a ground zero. Although it requires purchase of local property and manpower, it also consumes a lot of time and research to be done beforehand. Also, unstable market could lead to extra costs and time. However, on the contrary, it creates new opportunities in the local market as well as gives a full control of the operation to the digital brain. Also, we should mention the fact that there's no risk of losing technological competence to a competitor. As for our intermediary entry mode, we choose joint venture. By creating a new business entity that is collaboratively owned by both Digital Brain and an experienced partner in a targeted market, it will enable them to reduce market and political risks. And most importantly, Digital Brain will be able to overcome targeted countries' government restrictions. In terms of disadvantages, it requires huge amount of capital investments in order to establish such joint venture. And since it's a two different country, obviously there might be cultural differences which might potentially lead to the seizure of the joint venture.
And our alternative entry mode for Digital Brain is partnership with other companies, but not some random companies, but the companies that are already based in Singapore and want to enter the European market. You might ask us why we are suggesting this to you, but actually the answer is pretty simple. Namely, these companies are already familiar with the culture and the way how the business should be done there. Moreover, partnership will benefit both sides, Digital Brain, you guys, and the companies from Singapore, since both of you would get what they want. Digital Brain will expand to target market, and the other companies will enter the Europe.
Now let's take a look at our suggested markets for Digital Brain. As for our first target market, we choose Singapore, majorly because of the fact that it has been ranked first among 189 countries to do business, according to the World Bank Group studies, and its official business language is English. Therefore, it has an American style of doing business. Moreover, it's where all the markets are. However, we have concluded that joint venture or partnerships will give more possibility of success rate in Singapore because of the fact that enforcing contracts takes fewer steps in Singapore. As for our second target market choice, we've chosen New Zealand, majorly because of the fact that we've seen more opportunities of developing greenfield strategy within the country. Moreover, since we will be required to hire a local man as well as purchase a local property, New Zealand gives more opportunity of highly skilled laborers and ease of registering a property within the country. Moreover, we will have a less language barrier since the official business language of New Zealand is English, and there is a lower business taxes as well as the higher living standards within the country. As for our timing of the entry, Digital Brain will be considered a late entrance to the market, hence there is already existing marketing and branding agencies within both of the markets. Here is an example of a Singapore market and its strategic map. And thank you very much for your attention.